In 1998, Might and Magic 6 Mandate of Heaven was welcomed into the world to much critical acclaim and many happy gamers engrossed in the story, gameplay and addicting battle system. This hasn't changed much over the years, and this game and series have gained a cult following as time went on. I feel passionate about this game since it's one of the first RPGs that I really got into, so there's probably a hefty dose of nostalgia tinted rosy glasses involved here. Still, nostalgia and such aside, I'm convinced that it's a great game by its own merit. It has a timeless style, a gripping story, and it's just plain fun to play. If you've never played this game, or you've never even heard of the series, I'd still strongly advise you just to get this game. There are so many aspects of it that you'll just fall in love with. Whether you're the adventure type, the type to obsess over completion, you'll find something just for you. It's one of those retro games that still feels fresh and can definitely be enjoyed by a modern audience. So what is this game? It's pretty much a standard fare of fantasy RPG, but with a twist. It has a strong open world aspect, and the fighting system at times feels like, and I hate to say it, but it feels like Doom. You can also opt to fight in turn-based combat style by pressing enter, and this is a pretty unique approach, and you'll find yourself switching between the two fighting styles. Now, to those new to this game, the character faces can be a bit jarring. It's a mixture of computer-generated faces and real photos, which can be a bit confusing, but in my opinion, it looks nice, it looks unusual. As you can see, the landscape and the big buildings and such are 3D, but smaller things like items, trees, or the peasants are 2D sprites. This was due to graphical limitations at the time, but I personally like this look, and it's something that takes a while to get used to. The equipment screen is enjoyable too, although your characters will end up looking very silly throughout the game, as you equip them with what has the best stats and not necessarily with something that matches. The gameplay is, as you'd expect from an RPG, based around leveling up and improving your character's respective skills. There are different classes and abilities to choose from and upgrade. You can learn new spells, improve your bodybuilding skill, or even learn how to dodge traps. All this requires finding the right teacher and having enough coin to pay them, which I think is realistic. It adds extra difficulty and it feels more rewarding when you do actually manage to improve one of your skills. The same goes for leveling up. You need to find a trainer and pay them to level up, but only once you've earned enough experience to do so by battling some of the game's horrifying monsters, such as goblins, werewolves, archers, and horrifying flying leeches. One cool mechanic I'd like to quickly mention is that the characters age. Like really, they do. When you start the game, there's prior spring onions in the 20s, and as you play the game, they get older, which causes them to have statistic penalties beyond a certain age. What's nice is that you can actually reverse this by finding the Fountain of Youth, or conversely you can prematurely age your characters through certain spells potions, and I think there might be a fountain which causes you to age, but don't quote me on that. What else is there to say about this game apart from the fact that it's amazing? It has adventure, it has style, it has magical swords and spells and every other fantasy cliché you can imagine. There's an in-depth storyline, an addictive skill and leveling up system, and a rich wealth of items, characters and quests to keep you busy. Oh, there's one more thing to fall in love with, actually. The music. It was actually made by Rob King and Paul Romero, both of which worked on the Heroes of Might and Magic soundtracks, and in my opinion there's a lot of echoes to the Might and Magic 6 soundtracks from the later Heroes games. Now, if you've ever played any of the Heroes of Might and Magic games, it's nice to know that the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 actually occurred in the same universe as this game, and Heroes of Might and Magic 2 is effectively the prequel to this game in terms of the story. Still, I hate giving spoilers, so I won't expand too much upon this. But in general, if you're a fan of the Heroes of Might and Magic series, this is a game definitely worth looking into for the storyline as well. So to wrap this up, you can get this game on Steam, GOG, Uplay, and of course on a CD, cheaply off of eBay. There are perhaps a few other venues I didn't mention, but I would strongly advise for you to either grab it very cheaply on GOG, a platform much like Steam where you can own a game without needing a CD, or to get Might and Magic 10 Legacy Deluxe version from Steam, with which you'll get a free copy of Might and Magic 6. You don't need DOSBox to play this game either, so just dive right in after installing this gem. Thank you for listening and see you next time.